Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
All kids out of the pool for Adult Swim. All kids out.
Lego Lord of the Rings Balrog raised eyebrows for what some fans say is an unfortunate pose. I see it. I see it. Oh, I see it. It's taking a piss on Gandalf.
You shall not!
And he says to her, listen, you got a fine white girl ass. So I don't like the look of this D. Listen, I don't need gay or straight boner pills. My boner works just fine.
Before you go, one question.
Yes?
Where in the galaxy is Sanusi?
Show us your tits and I'll tell you.
Yeah, I want to see movies! I think I've died and gone straight to honker heaven. Boobs are amazing.
Hello there. Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Dive, the double Ds, where you, the chat, the audience, you are the gatekeepers. You're in charge. You make the show go round, or at least you used to. I seem to make it go round now. At least it's the holidays, you know. You guys are taking it easy. I accept that. Hope everybody's doing well. We are a day and a half away from Christmas, and I'm feeling the spirit. I talked about that yesterday, but I'm feeling the spirit more today because even though yesterday I talked about Christmas spirit, holiday spirit, all that kind of stuff, it came back again. Goodness happened. When I went to pay for my car repairs, came in $700 less than what they quoted me. $700. That's a big deal, dude. That's all. That's $700 less that I got to pay back now. So it was good. Now, all in all, I'm mentally exhausted right now. I slept for a rough 9 hours last night, but I slept, tossed and turned a lot. Still a little sick. 6 weeks now with this, whatever the hell I have. It's all in my nose right now, and it leaks into my throat, and I cough shit up, and it's a vicious little cycle, and it's disgusting. But it's all that it is, and it's getting better. It gets a little better every day. Maybe this week it'll finally work itself out, and next week, as we enter the new year, I'll be back to normal, whatever normal for me is. But anyway, I hope you guys are all doing well. I got something of a show planned today. We're going to talk about some stuff. But as always, the rules are as they are. $10 gets you an Adam rant. Just about anything. You guys understand the limitations. I know you do. $15 also gets you asking me a question. I'll tell you no lies. Adam, how you feel about this? Adam, how you feel about that? No, Legatus, it's not a sinus infection. I've had sinus infections when I was a kid. This was I had a virus. I had something. I was legitimately sick. I've been legitimately sick for 6 weeks. Sinus infection is nothing. I laughed that shit off. So no. Then of course, $15 also gets you hot take reaction to an article from the news or one you may be sitting on. We've seen that happen. At the same time, we also get chat made me watch this reviews for $35. Got one for you today. The Star Wars Holiday Special. As cringe as ever. There is nothing. I love Star Wars. I am first generation Star Wars fan. Now, this was arguably in my youth. It is not until the past several years of internet and availability that this became easily, readily findable like it is on YouTube right now. Growing up, the Star Wars Holiday Special, they made sure that thing vanished from time and space when I was a kid. I didn't know about it growing up as a Star Wars fan. Never knew about it. I was an adult when I found out about it because they made that thing vanish. It was so bad. Once Empire came out, they worked very hard to make that thing vanish. They worked very hard. But we will be talking about that. And we'll be talking about that. And got a few other things too. To talk about today. Other than that, what do we got here? I got a couple of ideas, a couple of things I do want to remark on at the same time. Well, the goddess, you're older than I am. You're older than I am. I was a child. You're a bot. You're an ancient clanker. Anyway, what are we doing here, though? What are we doing? All right, so I got a couple things today. I got a couple things to talk about. Ooh, almost hit end stream. That would have been fun. No, you have to double click it. One click doesn't end it. We got the news, of course. We got some other things that we're going to touch upon today. First thing I want to talk about is this. This is essentially this is what we got for news of the day, like hardcore nerd geek news of the day. Everybody wants to talk about the fact that, oh, look at this. We've got the official release of the first Avengers Doomsday trailer, the one we all talked about for a week. The Captain America one, the Steve Rogers one, because they call it at the end. It says Steve Rogers will return, not Captain America. Steve Rogers. We're not going to watch this. It's not worth anything. We already knew what happened. Everybody's already talked about it, already seen it. He's at the farm. He holds his kid. He will be back. That's it. Very underwhelming. But now we got the Thor one. As of yesterday, the Thor one is now launching in front of Avatar 3. Now, we have it here. I have it on one of these tabs. We're not going to look at it. That tab is up there so I can read it because I don't want to we already got one strike on the channel. I ain't risking a DMCA. I ain't risking that. So we will look at this one. So here's what I want to talk about here. Excuse me. Here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the stands. Adam wants to talk about stands. Yes, I want to talk about stands because they are the ones who are the litmus tests. How far will the stands go? How far will they go to protect us? Now, there are plenty of, now that this is official and we see it, there are plenty of stands going, this is great. Steve is back. Why all the haters? I'm just happy Steve is back. Shut up. You're an idiot. You have the room temperature IQ that is dropping quickly. But now there's the Thor one. Here's the Thor one. We're just going to pause. I hate it when a GIF repeats over and over again. It drives me crazy. This guy, Aaron Caboose, content creator, has a very large YouTube channel, dwarfs mine, right? Or he dwarfs me. I dwarf, whatever, however the term works. I'm brain not working today. I am tiny. I am a speck. Obviously, this guy is a successful YouTube creator, but he's a stan. Not gonna lie, that Thor teaser for Avengers Doomsday is extremely effective at building up the threat that is Doctor Doom. Seeing Thor praying to the All-Father that he can make it out alive and the upcoming battle is some powerful storytelling. Now, the whole trailer is Thor, and it is Thor with his Infinity War look. The Russo brothers have gone back to that look. Walking up, and he's praying, can I survive this battle to get back to the ones I love with this new threat? Blah-de-blah-de-blah. Carrying Stormbringer. Not Mjolnir, Stormbringer. This is somebody who wants access. This is somebody who is scared to be negative. And they're now all going to pretend that this is some sort of great upgrade over this one right here. Oh, it's Thor being badass again. Oh, we're gonna get miles away from Taika Waititi. Doesn't matter. This is a desperate nostalgia member berry. We can use either term. Member berry attempt. And I ain't eating it. But morons like this are, and I don't care. Adam, he has 680K subs. What does that matter to me? He can still have a shit take. The cocksucking of all of this. That's what sickens me. It sickens me that they are also easily swayed. Do you not remember the past several years where they basically thumbed their noses at everybody who gave a damn about the MCU when it was good? 4, 5 years, right? Let's say 21 to now. 4 years. 4 years of garbage, specifically made for the modern audience, packed with agenda, packed with all the a lot of commie Marxism. Let's be honest. Just go look at Ant-Man, Commie Mania. But I mean, it's just packed with agenda, packed with politics, packed with indoctrination, and then you get criticized when you don't agree with it. And now suddenly, look, here's Steve, here's Thor. I don't know what the next one's going to be, but look here, we're showing you what you used to love. Come right back. Isn't that nice, guys? Come right back. And if you come back saying, thank you for beating me for all these years, and I'll come back now, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you when the tone and vibe of that Thor Doomsday trailer is perfect for the character. The Russos and McFeely really get it. Get what? Bringing back how it originally was? What I don't get is you. So readily and easily forgiving. And, I'll come right back. I don't understand this behavior. It's the same behavior with Disney Star Wars stands, these MCU stands. Same behavior. Same thing. Same exact thing. And it's sad. It's sad that so many people are easily duped. And now I can't show this tab because it has the leaked trailer in it. So excuse me for a second here, but I will read it to you. The thunder returns. Thor is back in Doomsday, and the trailer hits like a godly storm. And all the appropriate hashtags. So now we'll just go back to this one here. Who talks like this, first of all? Who talks like that? Hey, it's back with a godly thunder. Blah, 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 blah. You're a clown. All these people. You're stand shield clowns. And I have no respect for you. This is some of the weakest marketing possible because it's completely attached to member berries, jangling nostalgia to convince you, to try and distract you from the years of garbage. Now, some people want to say, oh, man, they abandoned the MCU. That means nothing. That's just a logical course correction that they should have done 3 years ago after the first year of failure. But no, they took the time with their army of mouthpieces to denigrate you, to denigrate real fans. But now, you see a little bit of Steve, a little bit of Thor as he should be. Oh, it's okay. Everything's okay. Everything's all right. No, everything's not all right. Doomsday is, if this is the effort you're putting out to bring people back, those of us with a working brain, we see right through it. We're not coming back. If we do, watch it. It's with a critical eye to break it apart for the weakest. Because Paul Rudd was asked over the past few days about the movie. He says he has no idea what the plot is. We remember Alan Cummings' statement, I have no idea who I shot my scenes with, what the story is. Doomsday is not going to work. It'll look pretty for a minute. It may put up $1 billion. I still think it might limp there. I think the reactions to this, the lack of true traction, and the lack of true enthusiasm, I think it's already telling that this is going to struggle. It's going to struggle a lot. And it may hit $1 billion, but when your budget is north of $700 million right now, your break even's $2 billion or near of it. Plus the marketing, because the marketing campaign for this is going to be the likes of Barbie, the likes of Superman 2025. They're going to sink $200 million into this marketing campaign, minimum. So we're looking at likely $1 billion production marketing budget combined, nearly, or probably. Therefore, your break even is $2 billion. Where's the success in a $1 billion movie that doesn't even break even? Because that's what you're going to be looking at with Doomsday. And when Doomsday flops, because we will call it a $1 billion flop when the time comes, I guarantee it. When Doomsday flops and all the people cry at us, you can't call it if I've made $1 billion, and we carefully and logically explain it to them. When it flops, how is Secret Wars possibly going to be a success? How can they possibly do that? Ask yourself these questions. Don't ask a Stan the question, because they'll lie to your face with spam responses, with word salad. But he's Thor. He's back. Oh, look, Steve is back. But look, they're gonna keep Sam as Captain America, so everybody wins. You get that kind of answer, you know exactly who you're dealing with. A moron who will eat any slop. So there it is. This is the big news of the day. And it's worthless. It's merely trying to trick you. And if you fall for it, I can't help you. A 2x4 upside your head wouldn't help you, because you know what? There's nothing there to damage. Done with this. Yeah, so it's effed up. It's effed up. But he's changed. He told me so, and I believe him. Exactly, Kel. Yeah. Sue Storm is a whore. She's Sue Storm. She's not even Sue Richards. She's still Sue Storm. She didn't even take the man's. Then, all right, would you take Pedro's last name? Would you? I wouldn't. Then again, I'm not a gay man, but he is. Allegedly. Anyway. Now, this leads into the other thing I want to. Here's my monologue, right? I do have a monologue for you guys. So attached to this now, along with all this stuff, we cannot forget about the DCU. And I was thinking about that. Why is it called the DC? We know the MCU is called the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Is it just DCU? It can't be DC Cinematic Universe. It would be DCCU. Why is it called the DCU? DC Universe? We're supposed to be adding the word cinematic in there. Why do we call it that? It suddenly occurred to me yesterday when I was lying there trying not to cough before I went to sleep. Why are we calling it the DCU? So it can be synonymous like the MCU? Is that it? Because that you know what? That's pretty low effort from all of us, including me, who's been calling it that without thinking about it until just now. Why do we call it the DCU? Because DC is its own thing. I forget what DC stands for, honestly. It's been so long since I got to look at what does DC stand for. Hold on a second. What does DC in DC Comics stand for? Detective Comics. Okay, Detective Comics. So we call this the Detective Comics Cinematic Universe? Is that what we're calling this? Because nobody calls it Detective Comics. Yeah. The symmetry, Jed. The symmetry. Everything has to connect to it. Detective Comics Universe. But it should still be Detective Comics Cinematic Universe. There should be another C in there. Don't make any sense. We're all retards for willingly naming it that. We're all retards. We're all to blame here. Anyway. The DC Comics are... The DCU is no better. And we're going to be facing a second type of shill stupidity when it comes to Supergirl. And I know I've talked about this before, and I'm going to keep talking about it. It's going to keep coming up in conversation. But I'm going to ask the question now. Today alone, I saw too many posts on X about Millie Alcock. Oh, who's been on your mind this year so far is going to be on your mind next year. Who's living rent-free in your head? And they just put up things from the trailer. Millie Alcock, one, she's mid. She's not that hot. But then that comes to it. I do not understand simp behavior. I understand lust. Lust, I understand. I participate in lust on a daily basis. My opening intro to this show with Salma Hayek literally swinging her tits for our entertainment and our delight. I understand lust, but lust ends with the desire to simpery. It goes beyond that because you say the most inane, retarded things and you talk about them constantly. Listen, I will talk about Selma Hayek's tits, but when they're not in front of me, I do forget about them. I get reminded every day because of my intro, but I don't think about it constantly. I'm not thinking about, I'm not writing poetry for Selma Hayek. If I'm thinking about Selma Hayek, it's because I'm horny. It's not because I want to live a life with her. I want to build statues to her. It's because I'm horny. And even though she's in her 50s, I want to have all night sex with her. But these people that, and we'll use Millie Alcock as the example, these people that simp for Millie Alcock, and that's the biggest example of simping going. We could say that they're at the Daisy Ridley simps, but I don't want to talk about Raylo crap right now. That's a different degenerative order in the brain. And that's a good point right there. She might smile at me. I want to say to every one of these people and do that, she's never going to touch your penis. Never going to touch your penis. Never. Never. Every person that simps for her, she's never going to look at you. She's never going to know your name. You could send her all the fan mail you want. You could post about her all the time you want. She's never going to like your post. She's never going to know who you are. But you're going to simp for her anyway, and you're going to attack people who criticize her, sometimes rightfully so. Because we're going to come up upon Supergirl in 6 months, and some of us, and I'm going to say it, myself included, are going to say, wow, that was a shitty performance by Millie Alcock. And I'm going to get hate because simps cannot handle you criticizing the face they tape to their pillow when they fuck it at night. And listen, I've encountered this in real time. I was on a stream earlier this year, Beast Up with what's his name? Shit. What's that dude's name? He's part of EFAP now. You know what I'm talking, his show. I can suddenly forget his name. Anyway, I was on there and Millie Alcock came up. And in that, and I said, well, I mean, Millie Alcock, she was barely in the show. And I said something, not really an attack, but I was a little dismissive of Millie Alcock. And that chat turned on me hard. How dare you talk bad about Millie? Oh, what are you talking about Millie bad for? What's the matter with you? Why are you talking like that? What did she do to you? Simpery exists even in our sphere. Oh, she was in House of the Dragon. She was great. Oh, Millie Alcock. That's all she did. And literally a minute and a half of, see ya, bitch, at the end of Superman 2025, and now an extremely mid-trailer. I'm going to call it like I see it. Now, attractiveness is in the eye of the beholder. What I consider mid, some people will consider beautiful. I can acknowledge that. But it's that. I mean, yeah, listen. Sydney Sweeney's body is incredible, but she's not the most beautiful woman in the world. She doesn't have the most beautiful face in the world. Her body is rocking beyond belief. But I'm not going to attribute any sort of praise to her just because I want to fuck her. I mean, as I've said, if I had a choice, if we're going straight up beauty and body, I choose Alexandra Daddario over Sydney Sweeney because Alexandra Daddario is straight up beautiful. But again, that's attributed to my lust. I don't know her. I don't know what she thinks. She's married with a kid too. So that kind of thing is like, I'm not even that in my brain is, well, once you're married with a kid, what's the point? Why am I simping for you if you're married with a kid? Why would I simp for you? Why? I mean, I'll still lust for you because I can. My tits are amazing, but I do not understand that simping behavior. I really do not. following them, reading every little thing they post, getting every little picture, posting every little picture you find. Oh, it's appreciation time. Oh, look at this. She's so beautiful. Oh, she owns it. We saw it with fucking Rachel Zegler too. The Zeglians. They literally called themselves the Zeglians. Now, of course, as normal people, we don't understand even being a fan of hers because she's a horrible human being. But we see simp behavior on all levels, and I do not understand it. I understand lust. I do not understand simp behavior. Finding pictures, posting them, that kind of stuff. I do not get it. I do not get it. I do not understand it. To me, if I call you a simp, that is the biggest insult I can probably level at you, because to me that tells you you have a brain that requires an obsession. You have a personality that requires an obsession. I don't understand it. We talked about that on Sunday. On Roundtable. Why you had hope to begin with, I don't know. Why did you saw what James Gunn's been doing for years now? Why did you have hope to begin with? I didn't. I never had hope. I don't believe in James Gunn. And we could talk about James Gunn too. We could talk about that because we do have some James Gunn stuff here. We have something to talk about here. This is hysterical. I love this. I wanted to make sure it was real, and it is real. So yesterday or this week, I don't know. I don't know the exact day. I guess it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. Creature Commandos. They put it out for free. Warner Brothers put it out for free on YouTube. Guess what happened? Well, you don't have to guess very hard. I'm going to tell you. It failed. It flopped. All the episodes continuously streaming. You could watch it, this and that. Only 330 viewers, 788 likes. No, listen, I don't get those numbers. That would be the numbers I would get if I hit some sort of super crazy moment of traction. That would be the numbers I would get. How do you only have but here also, how do you have 330 viewers and 788 likes? I smell bots. But that's besides the point. YouTube. Easiest access in the world. I used it yesterday to watch the Star Wars Holiday Special for today, to rewatch it for today. Because it's free. Click of a button, it's free. You don't got to pay anything. Creature Commandos, entire season 1 free. Nobody watched it. Where are all those DCU fans who claim the DCU is healthy, that it's exciting, that people are hyped for it? They put this out for free. Nobody watches it. I don't want to hear DCU is cooking. I don't want to hear everything's going to be great. I don't want to hear that. I don't. Because this reeks of failure. This reeks of just poor planning, poor execution. Nobody is interested. And I'm sure by now it's gone up a little bit from yesterday, from 330, but that was its premiere number. Nobody wants to watch this. And then that leads to the overall discussion. Superman 2025 was not a success, not the protected success they claim it is. Nobody is interested in this. You had your chance, and you blew it. You did not win over the large-scale worldwide audience you need to make the DCU, James Gunn's DCU, financially successful. You didn't. Superman 2025 lost money. Supergirl will lose money. Lanterns will be a flop on HBO Max. And Creature Commandos Season 2 will go as unwatched as Season 1 has been. And Clayface, no one's going to give a shit about Clayface. They want to claim, oh, we're all so excited for Clayface. It's going to be great. You don't give a shit. You put Batman in there, you got people's attention. But just Clayface, to turn him into an anti-hero, no, I'm sorry. That equation doesn't equal success. That it equals failure. It equals flop. No one is interested in the story about Clayface unless he is being hunted by Batman. He's committing crimes and Batman's on the case. So we arrive now coming into we are a mere days away from 2026 as we begin the push of year 2 of the DCU. And we're going to have to, when I say we, I mean you, me, other people who call it straight, use logic and facts to back our arguments. We're going to have a very large battle ahead of us. As every time one of these things come out and the numbers are massaged to look fantastic and be told, oh, this is great, we're going to have to come back and report on this again. We're going to have to remind this failure and try and show how much failure it really is when compared to other things, when how much money is spent, how much money it doesn't make, how much lack of interest there is. This is, and in the end, nobody wanted this. Nobody wanted this to fail. Go back in time. When it happened, I said, wow, James Gunn as head of the DC studios, that sounds like a good idea. A director and a creator who knows what it's like when a studio interferes, he'll know how to pick and choose how to navigate this correctly. Wrong. I was wrong. James Gunn is a narcissist and a liar. He doesn't know what he's doing. He had no plan. Gods and Monsters. Remember Gods and Monsters? That's out the window. That doesn't exist anymore. He is spitting on the wall and hoping it sticks. There is no successful path for any of this because they don't have a plan. You do not have a plan. When you start with something like Creature Commandos, you drop Superman 2025 on a platter, it stinks, and you call it a gourmet meal. And then you rely on simps to push Millie Alcock's Supergirl. You have a problem. When you delay Lanterns is done. It's finished. They delayed it 4 months to June, July. It was supposed to drop in February. They delayed it because they knew it was going to fail. Because if the rumors are true, it's more politically driven agenda entertainment meant to indoctrinate and dog whistle to commie Marxists. And also, our theories now range that they get Lantern lore completely wrong. Completely wrong. So you look at all of this, and you could come, when you're presented with the facts, this is facts, logic, this is receipts. When you are presented with this stuff, presented with the truth that Superman did not make $100 million in profit, that Lanterns is so bad they delayed it, that Supergirl is based on one of the worst comics of all time for her lore and foundation and base, that they can't even sell you Creature Commandos for free. Based upon receipts, logic, facts, the DCU is in so much trouble. So much trouble. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I will tell you the truth. I will not lie to you. You could disagree with me, and some people will, but I will not lie to you. God, this is so terrible. I got to blow my nose real quick. Excuse me. There we go. And now I need a drink of water after that. My throat was about to completely close up because it dried out. And that's one of the biggest problems with whatever I got. My throat is just so dry all the time. I'm trying to stay hydrated, except when I really go really try, I get up literally every hour to take a piss when I go to bed at night because I've been drinking so much to try to stay hydrated, keep my throat from cinching up. And there it is, James Gunn's DCU. Completely pathetic. And I hope you guys are doing all right. Please remember to hit that like button. Hit that like button. If you are new here, subscribe to the channel. We do a lot of fun stuff here. And reminder, if you haven't done so, go vote in the poll over on the main YouTube channel, the post tab. There is a poll. Should I play a game? Should I stream a game on Christmas Day? Should we do some gaming on Christmas Day? Because we haven't gamed in a while, because the game I want to play, it's a Christmas present. and you can't play a Christmas present until Christmas. So we'll be streaming if you guys want to. Right now, it's by slim margin. It is winning. Some of you don't want me to game. And I don't know if that's because you hate me or because you think I need a day off. But we will stream if the poll goes that. We have until tomorrow night, midnight. When 1 minute into Christmas Day and the poll closes. So if it goes through some point on Christmas Day, I don't know when. I know Jed's streaming in the afternoon. Don't want to stream over Jed. And I'll probably still be digesting my delicious French toast and bacon Christmas Day breakfast. Oh, with maple syrup, melted butter, whipped cream on the French. Oh, yeah, baby. It's going to be delicious. We'll be playing some Dragon Quest III HD2D remake, the beginning of the Erdrick trilogy. We'll be starting that off. We'll be playing that for streaming purposes for the foreseeable future. When we do solo streams, co-op streams, we'll be doing stuff. I have been essentially blackmailed now into doing a particular co-op game. I don't know if we'll stream it, though. I don't think it's necessarily a co-op streamable game. I know that next month, Pal World 1.0 launches. Kel's going to reset the servers. We will be streaming co-op group play on Pal World. I believe next week as well, there is a Ballbusters gaming stream on New Year's Eve. It's supposed to be Among Us. Some people want it to be Party Animals just to make me suffer. But we'll see what happens there. I think it's a question of can we get everybody? Because it's only worth it if we can get, 10 people. In my opinion, Among Us is not worth playing if you don't have double-digit people. If it's not double-digit people, it's not worth playing. So we'll see. So I believe we're supposed to. Kel wants Among Us because Kel generally murders everybody when he's the imposter. You know it's a Kel kill when they're all just dying quickly, rapidly. So there's that, and of course there are other things going on. I mean, right now I can say Jed and I are trying to find a co-op game to play for you guys. We're trying to find one. We're not having any luck because we can't agree on certain things, and also with what our interests are, there isn't a lot out there for what we're looking for. So we're trying to find something for that to give you guys some entertainment, some dual streaming entertainment on that end. And of course, we want you guys to have fun. So go ahead and vote on the Christmas Day gaming poll. Right now, it looks like I'll be doing it, which is good. I want to play that game. I really do. And I'd love to play a new game on Christmas Day because, see, that's what, since I grew up as a gamer and a kid like that, to me, Christmas Day is about playing your new game when you unwrap it. Kratos for $20. Thanks for nearly a year of great content. I look forward to the show every day, and I love going over the current events with the Atom and the Gatekeepers. Can't wait to see where the channel goes next year. And this goes against Kratos' base instincts to try and destroy my channel. So I very much appreciate this, Kratos, even though I know there's some hidden agenda that you have in there. I know there is, because you are looking to crush my soul. You have a list of movies that are the worst ever that you throw at me. So I know. You made me watch the Star Wars holiday special for today. I love Star Wars, but that is one of the worst things in the world. I know you have some ulterior motives, but thank you for the $20 and the continued support. Thank you for the continued support. Okay, I got one more thing before we get to the news. I got one more thing. This is a fun one. Wait, what's this one? Okay, did I not delete this? Okay, hang on. I need to delete my tabs when I'm done with them. All right, we got one more thing. This is a fun one, and once again, I asked the question because I have to ask this question. Whenever this happens, I have to ask the question. Lego announced a new set today. Gondor. Biggest ever Lord of the Rings Lego set has been leaked, priced at a reported $650. Made up of 8,278 pieces, Minas Tirith, the 6th largest Lego set ever in terms of number of pieces. Lego fans, Lord of the Rings fans, are we buying this? Are we buying this? Are we gonna get Minas Tirith? And where are you gonna put it? 8,278 pieces. Where are you gonna put it? Is there a glass case big enough for that? You can buy. You have to have one specially made. It's huge. And this is one of those things, wherever you build it, that's where it has to live. When you build Minas Tirith, it's like the mistake I made when I was a kid and my generous mother for Christmas got me the USS Flag, G.I. Joe aircraft carrier. I mistakenly built it in my bedroom, which means it couldn't leave the bedroom. It was stuck in my bedroom. So wherever you build this, that's where it's going to live, because there's no picking that up. 8,000 pieces, ain't no picking that up. Ain't no picking. So that's I mean, Kel says no. Kel says no. $650. That's like that's half the amount that I of my bills every month. I can't afford this. Even if I wanted it. I mean, we know that I'm not into Legos, and I'm not a big enough Lord of the Rings fan that I want to build Minas Tirith in my house. I don't need Minas Tirith in my house. Weasel, I know you're Lego. What do you think? And Last Jedi is worse because the Star Wars Holiday Special, as cringe as it is, it's essentially, except for the idea of Life Day, it's decanonized. It's not canon. It's just silly and dumb. And it was essentially, and we'll get into it. No, and at least it had real Han, real Leia, and a very strange looking Luke. It had actual Chewie. They had the actual cast in it. And it was 1978. We'll get into this. So, I mean, Weasel, I know you're into Legos. Is $650 worth? Minas Tirith worth $650 for over 8,000 pieces? Where are you going to put this? What are we going to do with this? Some people are going to buy this. I saw a reply to this that one guy said, "I'm so glad my wife is pregnant with our first son. It gives me an excuse to buy this." Now, haha, you're buying it for yourself, not your son. Funny. But still, I don't get this. I don't get this. Release date of June. Of course, Gary's happy for it, but Gary doesn't generally buy Legos. Gary buys stuff, but Gary's not a Lego buyer. Az buys Legos. Gary does not. See, now that's cool. Diorama, Battle of Five Armies. That's pretty cool. But they made that themselves. They didn't buy that. And clearly, you put time. That's dedication right there. But I doubt they spent $650 on that. Maybe more, actually. But I mean, these are as someone who hasn't lived in a real house for a long time, I have limited space. And when I had a house, there were no rooms dedicated to stuff like this. You would have to have a room dedicated to shit like this, where you build it and then you just have it there and you look at it. You don't even get to play with it. You just look at it. And granted, it's made to look at, not to play with. Now, I wonder if it's going to come with any characters. You're going to have Gandalf. Going to have anybody there. We'll have a Denethor on fire. That'd be funny. Yeah, the price tag is rough. Yeah, you just made my point. You have to have room for this kind of shit. You have to have a home where you're not going to be moving, possibly ever, where you're there for a long time. Because imagine you buy this, you have to move. You better keep the instruction manual. You better keep it, and you better make sure that when you're transporting it, or if it breaks, because you might have to rebuild this shit. And that's the thing. If I built this and it shattered, I wouldn't rebuild it. I don't think I have that in me. Doing it once for the love of the game, or for the love of it, but you have to have the love of the game to rebuild it if it ever breaks apart. I couldn't do it. Could not. I can't even imagine having this thing, 8,278 pieces. You have it there for years, and suddenly, maybe for some reason, you have to move it, whether you're moving or something happens, and then something happens, and tsunami of pieces. You're broken. You see that shit drop. Not to mention, if it breaks, and that's 8, I mean, just think about how big is that box going to be? All those bags. I mean, that is a mission. You build this thing, that is a mission. I can't fathom this. It's not for me. I can admit that. It would be cool to see it, but I can't do that. I can't do that. No. No. I can't do it. Can't do it. If it ever broke, part of me would break because I'd probably just throw it all out. 650 down the hole. Imagine that. I could picture it right now. The pieces just strewn everywhere if it broke. Oh. Imagine if your kid got into it. You make them big Lord of the Rings fan. You're away. They get into the room and they love it so much they don't understand that it's look and not touch, seen and not heard, and then it's everywhere. Because Legos are made to be played with, but this kind of thing is not meant to be played with. It's meant to be built and then left alone to be stared at lovingly. And I can't. There you go, man. There you go. Some people are going to buy it. Some are going to buy it. Not me, though. Not me. All right. Wow. 46 minutes, and we're first getting to the news. So I talked a lot of stuff there. Let's get to the news. Definitely need a refresh here. And I did that because it is the holiday, and the news is light. All right. So without further ado, let's go over the news, see what we got. And then we'll get into chat, maybe watch us reviews. And the Star Wars Holiday Special. 120 most powerful execs. How powerful is Zaslav if he has to sell his company? Really? Okay. How to watch the NBA Christmas Day. Oh man. Once upon a time for me and my buddies. Christmas Day game for the NBA. We looked forward to it every year, man. I used to love the Christmas Day game, especially when my teams were playing. When one of my teams was playing, when the Celtics were playing, it was great. I loved it. Now, whatever. The NBA is a pale shadow of what it used to be. Star Trek Strange New Worlds casts Sulu and Bones for series finale. Is that a man? Is that a man or a troon right there? Well, that's a Brad problem. See, Strange New Worlds is a Brad problem. So I don't have to worry about that. Connor Story thought heated rivalry book fans would hate my performance, and he got torn apart before the show became a hit. Yeah, it's hippie with people who want to see two dudes effing, which is not us. Taylor Swift donates $1 million to nonprofit Feeding America. Well, she got to do something to try and save her soul from ruining entertainment. The worst TV shows of 2025. I'm not even going to talk about that. I haven't watched any of that crap. The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender, skipping movie theaters for Paramount Plus streaming debut. Let's be honest. I don't know if an animated Last Airbender, as great as it holds up until Korra, I don't know if that would have brought people to this movie theater. I don't. This might be it was always a television property. It was never a movie property. We've kind of proven that. Mads Mikkelsen on freezing to death filming Rogue One and how the script was surprisingly unfinished. I don't think they ever locked a draft. Well, that's just Disney Star Wars. It always has been and always will be. Russell Brand's charged more counts of assault. No comment. Let's just say he spent a lot of years drunk and unaware and high of what he was doing. So who knows what he might have done if he did do something. Who knows? Anaconda review. High concept cover version flips genres revisiting Killer Snake classic with scant laughs and zero scares. One, I'm not a very big Paul Rudd fan. Don't dislike him, so I'm a big fan, and I can't stand Jack Black now. I cannot stand him. SNL writer Jimmy Fowle asked for help finding missing sister. We're worried she isn't safe. Well, good luck to you, dude. Good luck to you. Aegon director Guillermo Bertelli on how to get Mubi to board his offbeat allegorical drama on Sports Cigars War. I don't care, whatever. Care to talk about that. Don't care about Chalaget's movie. Don't care about Emily in Paris. Avatar 3 to rule over Christmas box office. Yes, Avatar will rule. It is the only movie out next week. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. I knew what you were doing, which is why I insulted you, because you're purposely trying to destroy me. I knew what you were doing, and put it towards that. Okay, whichever is closer to the next 100. All right, let me go check that real quick. That would be 275 then on the married side. We only got 2 more days of that. Only 2 more days of me having to be merry or a Grinch to people. Because as of Thursday, that's over. And Ballbusters happens on Friday. Just saying. Hideo Kojima sucks K-pop Demon Hunters titties. So that's fine. He can do that. Does what he does. Assassin's Creed Netflix series to be directed by John Rank. I saw this, and I saw what he did, what he's done before. I don't know. I don't trust that series as far as I can piss on it. I don't know what that is. Don't care what they're doing with My Hero Academia. I just want to finish watching it. Embassy air Stumble episodes on Mondays next month. Oh, to air Stumble, whatever that is. 60 minutes, doing stuff. Don't care. Homeless dude. Oh, yeah. So this big thing about some homeless dude who's a kid star on Nickelodeon. Somebody found him, and they're all trying to reach him. And apparently they found him. So that's good. And they're trying to help him. So that's nice. That's nice. Don't care about Rob Reiner stuff. Christina Aguilera still has a career. Listen, we all wanted to F her for a while back in the day. Gotta blow my nose. Hold on. Well, they made Sulu gay in JJ Trek. They made him gay in JJ Trek. So, whatever. Best songs 2025? I don't care. Music is dead. Avatar Fire and Ash Varang actor Una Chaplin is Charlie Chaplin's granddaughter. Yeah, I did read about that. I read about that. King of Indie Finance is dead at 90. Oh, that's a long life. Netflix leverage Stranger Things to buzz boost. Okay. Yes, apparently one of the creators of Call of Duty died in a car crash over the weekend, and many people are mourning that. I have no feeling on it because I never played Call of Duty, or I don't think I really ever played any of the games he was involved in, so I don't really have a connection to that. And now we're into yesterday's news. All right, let's move on. IGN. Horror Game Awards 2025 Director's Cut. I don't care. Talked about Aang. Bones and Sulu cast. Yes, we just talked about that a second ago. 101 delays. James Bond video game First Light to GTA 6 previous release date. Interesting. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is now available. Yeah, it's already on streaming. That was it made its money. Jen and I, we talked about this on Sunday. It's made its money. It made its profit. So I guess, whatever. Let's just get it out. Whatever. Star Citizen says Squadron 42 is now fully playable, is over 40 hours in length, and is still on track for a 2026 release date. Star Citizen is one of the biggest scams ever. Once again, Captain America trailer, Doomsday trailer. We just started I Have Nothing. Retired pro gamer goes viral for relentlessly killing casual Arc Raiders players, but is it griefing or just fair PvP? No, that's griefing. Ruining other people's fun makes you a jackass. And this is why I'm not interested in Arc Raiders as it stands, even though it's on sale. It is on sale right now on the PlayStation Store. I could buy it. I have some PlayStation credit. I could get it right now if I wanted to. But I'm not, because of assholes like this who want to grief you, who want to just hunt you down and take your shit after you worked hard for it. Oh, it's just part of the game. No, it's part of the game because you made it part of the game. You didn't have to. You chose to be a dick. And if they I would play Arc Raiders. It was just me and the boys hunting down clankers and getting out of there by the skin of our teeth. That sounds fun to me. Everything's not about a fight every time. It's just about getting our shit and getting out of there. Playing the game. I don't want to go out there and have to worry about I have just survived hell. I am now at extraction. Oh, they laid a trap for me. There goes all my work. It's bullshit. No, the more I talk about this, the more pissed I get at this. You spend 30 minutes, because there's timers on these videos. I've watched Arc Raiders. I know what goes on in that game. You have a timer. You have X amount of time to get in, find your shit, as much as you can get, as much as what you want, and get the fuck out. You might have just gotten the shit you need to level up your rooster. And then some jackasses who didn't do anything just sat there to set a trap for you at an extraction point, gank you, and take all your shit, and they get to advance while you have to do it all over again. I'm sorry, but that is not gaming. That is griefing. That is bullshit. And you are full of shit if you think that's okay. You are what's wrong. You want to do that kind of shit? Go play fucking COD and grief each other in fucking matches. Go play that shit. This is not legitimate PvP. Legitimate PvP is when everybody goes in looking for the fight. You go in there, you're looking to find somebody, you're looking to have a rough down, knockdown, drag out, I'm gonna kick your ass and be king of the goddamn hill. But you mix in with people who are in there to play the game, who are not there to PvP. And when you do that, that is not being. So this asshole saying, you want option of PvP? Go play WoW. When PvP is not optional, that doesn't make it PvP. It makes it a griefer's playground. It makes it a player killer playground. And they are what's wrong with it. That's why I don't want to play that game. My hard work, gone. Because some asshole just wants to grief my ass. And I'm not looking for a fight. I want to play the game. It's as intended. I disagree. I disagree. There, said what I had to say. Challenge me. Somebody challenge me on what I just said. If you're looking for PvP and everybody signs up for it, yeah, then you take your losses. If it's PvP, you take your losses because you signed up for it. It's not fair to people who just want to actually play the game. And that's not playing the game because suddenly all your shit's gone. All your shit's gone. Oh, you could have done free loadout. Don't care about the Durance trailer crap anymore. Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 2 runtimes. Yes, they're all very long. The finale is going to be 2 hours. No idea age Greeks use Batman helmets. Yes, I actually watched the Odyssey trailer. I was underwhelmed. Jed made a good point to me. Looks like Nolan's going to make an attempt at the mythological stuff, but it still looks. I have a sinking suspicion this film is going to be disappointing. And now we're into yesterday's news. We're talking about Creature Commandos being on for free. Paramount serves up amended offer, which means it's not a hostile takeover. They're just begging at this point. Adam the Woo, YouTuber pioneer who helped define independent digital storytelling, dies 51. Okay, I don't know who that is, but I'm sorry for his family. Vince Zampella, we already talked about that. ScarJo ditched Dizzy, just tangle for Batman. We already knew that. That's 2 weeks old now news. Disney accidentally admitted that no film post 2021 gets significant viewership on streaming. Yeah, because nobody watches Disney Plus. All right, that's the news. I'm sticking to it. Let me have a drink, and then we'll get to the holiday special. I need a minute. I didn't know I was going to come across that and get that angry. Because I see the guys play, and I see people I know playing, and I kind of want to play, but I don't. But I don't want to play a game and have time and effort I put in and get wasted. I know it's not. I know that's not what happens in every mission, but I've heard the stories now that because of jackasses like Burnt Peanut. You know what? I'm curious if that was Burnt Peanut. I'm curious now if that was Burnt Peanut saying that, because that guy, while we were hanging on Discord a few days ago, I took a minute and watched a little bit of his stream because he was streaming Arc Raiders. That guy is an asshole. That guy is a piece of shit. Burnt Peanut. No, just some guy. I love killing grown men that have jobs and children as they are trying to get 5 million credits for the expedition. Killing all teamers and solos live now. Yeah, there's an expedition thing going on where people are like trying to do stuff and it's a big co-op thing for that. That is there's something wrong with you. And the way you guys described to me, it's because of jackasses like Burnt Peanut who've turned it into a kill fest. I can blow my nose again, excuse me. Made me angry. I didn't know I had that. I didn't know I was that angry about it. Because part of me wants to play it. It does. Have fun with the guys. Have fun with the guys. But pieces of shit. Yeah. I know what that means. Yeah, he's a piece of shit. I watched a few minutes of his stream the other day while we were in Discord, and I was just coughing and not mic'd up. And he's a jerk. And the people who work with him are jerks. And he had 50,000 people watching him, though. You know, that makes me lose faith in humanity. That a jerk like that plays the game, acts like an asshole, and everybody watches it. And here we are trying to make real content here, have real discussions, and we just limp along where we are. Who's faith in society? Anyway, okay. Let's get to chat. Maybe watch his reviews, shall we? Where is it? Let me find it. Hold on. All right. What's the file called? Okay, there it is. Okay, there it is. Oh, it's a web. Hang on. It's a fucking WebP. Convert it to a JPEG. I tell you, whoever created WebP needs to burn in fucking hell. Useless fucking file type. Because you can't share it. Retarded. Now, there we go. Okay, so here we are once again. Chat made me watch his reviews today, courtesy of Kratos. I'll be discussing something that should be near and dear to my heart, but it is not. As much as I am a first-generation Star Wars fan, franchise closest to my heart, I will love, cherish, collect, protect, and preserve it against Disney Star Wars. The holiday special is horrible. An hour and 37 minutes of shit. It's terrible. And it's not canon. The idea of Life Day is canon, but these are canon. But now there are a couple things in there that spawned it out. So we'll roll through it right now for the uninitiated. Life Day. It's essentially a Wookiee day of appreciating all forms of life, because Kashyyyk is essentially, and I don't even think they called it Kashyyyk in this. Kashyyyk is essentially a world that is literally life incarnate. The Force is strong on Kashyyyk. And they all come together to celebrate it. It's not Christmas, but they decided to goofily make this a way to celebrate Christmas in Star Wars without celebrating Christmas. And the whole premise is that Han and Chewie were somewhere, and Han has promised to get Chewie home in time for Life Day. And this is 1978. The Star Wars itself has barely been out a year, or just been out about a year. I don't think, I think they're still in the early stages of writing Empire. So a lot of lore is not set. There's not a lot of lore set. So they just made this to try and capitalize on the growing success of Star Wars at this point. And what it is it's a basically and this was a TV thing. This was made for TV. It was a television thing. People sat down and watched this on Christmas. And yes, Boba Fett debuted in this. I'll get to that. I'm going to go through the whole thing. It's essentially taking advantage of current popular TV icons and tropes of music and this and that, framed around Star Wars. They intersplice shots from the original movie in there. They got everybody from the original cast to James Earl Jones to voice a couple new lines for Darth Vader. And they did it. They did it. And Han's supposed to get Chewie home, but they keep running into Imperial blockades. And his wife Mala, his son Lumpy, and his father Itchy. I mean, that tells you they did not take this seriously. Are afraid because where's Chewie? He's not home yet. We're so afraid. Now, canonically, Chewie does have a family, but they're not named Mala, Itchy, and Lumpy. This got wiped away from that. He has a family, but they're not called that. Okay, and that's part of the thing, that it's such a big deal for him to have a family on Kashyyyk and never go home because of his life debt to Han. And of course, now we see their home, their tree house on one of the Rook trees, although they hadn't called it that yet. And it just looks like a regular 80s home. They didn't try and make it look Star Warsy at all, because what was Star Warsy at this point? There was nothing that you could make that. We didn't know what a Star Wars look was yet, really. And essentially, you go through the motions. Lumpy is a rambunctious little Wookiee who just wants to play with his carved out X-Wing fighter. Itchy is a good granddad that wants his son to be safe and this and that. And Mala's a good housewife Wookiee who's trying to make dinner. So what happens is you go through these different segments to use some of the current day TV stars or musicians, stuff like that. At one point, Lumpy watches a holographic circus thing, which is what they tried to copy for that Skeleton Crew shit, except in that one, they made it pedophilic as opposed to this. Yes, that's the thing. That's why we're saying this is not lore accurate. I'm not going to try and lore analyze this, because this was created before Lucas and everybody else started putting lore down. So none of this is lore accurate. The Wookiees were enslaved. The Empire is shown to have a presence at Kashyyyk here, but they're just kind of walking through your house looking for Chewie and stuff like that. There would be no Wookiees in a home like this. They would be in chains in slave gangs doing shit. I mean, Kashyyyk is an occupied world at this point. Had been since the end of the Clone Wars. And there's no type of freedom where you're running around the house like that, where the Wookiees would be allowed to celebrate Life Day. Wouldn't happen. So we are not going to compare lore to this, even though this is made by people who are involved in real Star Wars. So we're not going to do that because it's been decanonized. It is not real. As far as I know, I've never heard anybody say this is canon outside of Life Day and the idea that Wookiees wear the red robe and stuff like that. Life Day ain't a thing. This ain't a thing. Life Day is a thing. Did not happen. So I talked about what Lumpy did, that little holographic circus act. Mala's watching some dude in drag being a four-armed alien making a meal. Learn how to make a meal. They keep talking to Art Carney on and here's the thing. There's no view screens. There's also the thing. Star Wars doesn't. They do view screens, but they more do holographic communication than anything. The HoloNet. It's called the HoloNet for a reason. They rarely do view screens. You don't get too much of that. Star Wars is a very analog world, but a lot of view screen conversations in this. And Art Carney is a store owner, a human store owner in Kashyyyk who sells to the Empire but supports the resistance and the Wookiees and the rebellion and the Wookiees. And he just keeps coming around to help them, give them gifts. At one point, he gives Itchy a holographic device that has him watch Diana Ross sing a song. I don't know. Remember, as I said earlier in this stream, early on before we started talking about this, I didn't know this existed till I was an adult. as a kid in the 80s, this thing was scrubbed from existence. Unless you watched it live and knew of it as an adult, if you're a little kid, you didn't know this existed. I didn't know this existed until I was an adult. Okay? As big a Star Wars fan as I am, first generation and all that, I didn't know this existed until decades later. It had been scrubbed from existence. Because this is the 80s, 90s, even 2000s. There's no internet. There's no YouTube where this thing's sitting there live for me to click up and watch. Unless somebody recorded it on a VHS from that, or dug it up and saved it and then sold it to be made to VHS. How do you watch this? How do you find it? So it's never been considered canon. Life Day is the idea of Life Day is canon. Other than that, this never happened. Point is, though, so they go through all these things. Han and Chewie are constantly on the run. They finally get to Kashyyyk, but they land on the other side of the planet and walk to Chewie's house. They contact, and Maul is busy contacting everybody under the sun trying to find where Chewie is. You get a single scene with Luke with a really weird haircut. And I wouldn't know that was Mark Hamill. He looks very strange with the hair and the makeup they got him in that. It's before his accident, too. This is before he had his accident, and he got the plastic surgery to change his face, which is why they included the Wampa scene to explain why Luke looks different. Luke and R2 are fixing an engine someplace and don't show up again until the end here, where he's got the lightsaber and stuff like that. Luke has no part in this except for the cartoon. We eventually get to Lumpy watching a report that's an adventure of Han, Luke, and Chewie, where they're stuck on some rando planet. And basically, as we said, Boba Fett gets introduced as a character. This isn't canon, but Boba Fett becomes canonized because of this. They took that and said, okay, let's make this a character, an Empire, where basically Boba Fett pretends to be an ally while hunting them and working for Vader. And it's a quick little thing. It's not much. It's very crummy animation. And I also think this is attempt, let's see, can we get away with a Star Wars cartoon? But it was so poorly animated and the caricatures were so disfigured that I don't think it landed with kids. But they had a little adventure and they don't even really fight. Boba Fett just leaves when he gets busted and retreats. But it's basically him trying to lure Han, Luke, and Chewie to tell him where the rebels are having their base, one of their bases. Doesn't work though. And that's it. It's just it's a simple little cartoon. It's honestly probably the best thing in this is what it is, because everybody voiced their characters. Everybody voiced their characters in it. So that was probably the best thing in there. Because if it wasn't that, you could actually feel like it was a little bit of a real Star Wars adventure there. Other than that, you get a scene of the day in the life in a Mos Eisley cantina where you have B. Arthur as a bartender who's struggling because the Empire put a curfew on her bar, and then B. Arthur breaks into song. Ugh. At one point, some stormtrooper watches a music video of a band from the time, forget who it was. And eventually Chewie makes it home, and Han and Chewie just have like an encounter with a stormtrooper left behind, and Han basically tricks him into taking a dive off the railing to the depths of Kashyyyk, because you're up there. When you fall, you're going to die when you go down into the deep levels of Kashyyyk underneath the tree canopies. And then, of course, thanks to Art Carney, they managed to trick their way out of the trooper being killed. But then Chewie gets home for Life Day, and then they all magically walk through a portal to other Wookiees, where magically the cast is there, and and Carrie Fisher sings a song, which we didn't need. Even Carrie Fisher sings a song. But what it is, though, is that it's all massively cringe. That's the problem with this. It's all massively cringe. Everybody is a little out of character in how they're behaving. The costuming, the stormtroopers look okay. I mean, that Harrison Ford just put on his Han costume. Carrie Fisher's wearing her costume. Peter Mayhew put on his Chewie outfit, and Luke wore his flight jumpsuit and then puts on his old school garb for this. And of course, Anthony Daniels got in the full C-3PO outfit. And I don't know if they had Kenny Baker and R2. I don't know if they had him in there or not, because they didn't say in Kenny Baker is R2. They just said in R2D2 is R2D2. So I don't know if they were giving Kenny Baker credit or not. But then they're all magically there. Leia sings a song about Life Day and how great it is. And then Chewie goes home and eats a meal with his family. And they play the Star Wars theme a little bit. And there's no actual music to this. It's recontextualized, remixed versions of what John Williams put out for the original movie. But it's all terrible. I mean, the other Wookiee outfits, the other Wookiee costumes are god-awful. Itchy's got a giant lip over his face. Lumpy is a nightmare fuel with his eyes and his teeth. And Mala looks cheap. It looks cheap. The Imperial Guards they bring along with the Stormtroopers, their stuff looks cheap. They have an officer at one point. It looks like his costume's a legitimate one they pulled from the stock, from what they kept over from the movie. But it's just that's it. That it was the first Star Wars some jock saw. You're probably not wrong because not everybody went to see it, and this is what you saw in 78. It's like, this is what they're all loving. What the hell is this? This thing is cringe. It feels weird. It's basically just showcasing different talents of the day, and I think trying to push a little merch here and there too. What was the merch? I mean, they already had the Kenner toys, but what else could they do? How else could they do it? And of course, I think then George probably saw this and said, "Fuck it, let's make a movie. Fuck this, let's just make another movie." And then they cranked out Empire. But there it is, the Star Wars Star Wars Holiday Special, horribly cringe. Everybody feels rough. I mean, they even have this cheap-looking Millennium Falcon cockpit that have Han and Chewie in it. It's cheap beyond cheap. It's even more cramped than the actual thing. But I guess it was done in good faith. But as we said, George said, no, you get rid of this. And they wiped it from existence. I'm proof. I didn't know this existed until I was a adult. Didn't know because they wiped it from existence. And if you bought, and I bought plenty of Star Wars media in terms of magazines and stuff like that, none of it mentioned this ever. Until way later when somebody dug it up and reminded everybody it existed. So we did get Boba Fett out of this. You got the Life Day. You got the Wookiee Life Day red cloak, red robe they wear. And that's about it. And the orb that they carry around. That's about it. That's all that survived from the holiday special. And thank you for that just being all that survived. So there it is. Some people consider this a tradition to watch as a Christmas. If I never see it again, I'll be happy. I'll be happy if I never see it again. Because once again, as much as I love real Star Wars, this is them being real cheap at the time. But it is what it is. It does exist in the zeitgeist. It has withstood the test of time, and it has its place. There you go. So there you go. Another chat made me watch this reviews, the holiday special. Even I, as hardcore real fan as I am, this thing is terrible. There you go. All right. That's that. Yes, it is better than The Last Jedi because at least the real people are in there. It doesn't disrespect Star Wars. It just makes it a little silly, is what it did. It made it a little silly. Anyway. All right, guys. Maybe. I don't know. I think it's terrible. And I want to watch real Star Wars right now to wash the taste out of my mouth. But I don't have time for that because I have other Christmas tradition movies that I'm going to watch today and tomorrow that'll take up my time, including for tomorrow's chat, maybe watch this reviews. I was going to watch this anyway for tomorrow. I'll be watching my favorite adaptation, Patrick Stewart's A Christmas Carol. Oh, I have to compare it to The Room? Well, it's Star Wars. Of course it's better than The Room. It had an actual story. There was an actual story in this. As goofy as it was, there's an actual story, and it had actual Star Wars characters in it. So it is better than The Room. Anyway, so all right, so tomorrow I will be talking about my favorite adaptation, the Patrick Stewart one. Not the highest quality one, but the acting is superb in this. And Patrick Stewart is excellent as Ebenezer Scrooge. So I'll be talking that, and then we'll be comparing it to the Muppet Christmas Carol. So there we go. It looks like today's show is Extreme Elements. Nope, we are done for today. Let me check something real quick here. Make sure that we get this. And I thought, let me check what's going on here. Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. I need to check something here. Gotta make sure we do this right. Oh, okay, there it is. All right, all right, there it is. All right, so let's end the show. And I'm going to come on. Let's put this in here. Come on. Why isn't it coming up? I'm trying to send you guys over to Jed, but it's not coming up. He's going live in 9 minutes, and it's not coming up. Jed, I can't find your. I know your stream's up, but it's not. Let me check. All right, maybe if I put the actual title of the show in instead of your channel. Let me try that instead. Live Spider-Man 2018. Okay, let me try that instead. Live Spider-Man 20. Come on. 18 endless. There it is. Boom. All right, guys. So I'm going to send you guys over. Jez will be playing some Spider-Man 2018 in about 9 minutes. So go over there. Watch him play an outstanding game. It's a great game. As for me, I am done for the day. I got no plans for tonight. I got a lot of house shit to do now because yesterday was kind of past couple days are kind of blocked off for other stuff. I got a lot of stuff to do to get ready for tomorrow, Christmas Eve. Anyway, so we'll be back tomorrow for another episode of Daily Dive. And then if you haven't done so, please go vote on the poll on the post tab about gaming on Christmas Day. Please go vote. You decide. It's your choice whether we're going to game or not. And then I'll see you guys throughout the rest of the week. Well, at least it waited till I was done to start coughing. I'm about to start coughing, so I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. You guys have a good rest of your day. Have a Merry Christmas. Go watch Jed play some Spider-Man, and I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.